Doctors said I should have slowed down decades ago. But I'm 92, I still drive, and I've never been sick in 30 years. Not even a cold. And no, it's not because I'm lucky. It's because of 5 habits that changed everything. Some of them are so simple you'd think they couldn't possibly work. But they do. Here's what I do differently, and why you might want to start today. Every morning before my feet even touch the floor, I move. It's not exercise, it's not stretching. It's what I call a signal to my body. A message that today we move, we breathe, we live. I've done this since I was 62. A doctor once told me that the body ages fastest in the first 30 minutes after you wake up. Your blood is thicker, your joints are stiff, and your nervous system, it's still wiping the sleep from its eyes. But most people rush it. They swing out of bed, grab their phone, and jolt straight into the stress of the day. What I do is the opposite. I lie on my back and I begin with 3 deep breaths. I stretch my fingers, wiggle my toes, then slowly rotate my ankles and wrists. It takes 90 seconds, but it tells every joint, every tendon, every muscle, wake up. You're needed. It might sound silly, but this tiny ritual sends blood flow to my limbs, oxygen to my brain, and awareness to my movement. It reduces the chance of falls, calms my nervous system, and boosts circulation. Studies from the National Institute on Aging back this up. Older adults who engage in gentle morning mobility movements report higher levels of energy, mental clarity, and balance throughout the day. Still think it's too simple? Let me share what my mornings used to look like. At 60, I used to wake up stiff. I'd stumble to the bathroom, legs heavy, head foggy. Once I even tripped over my slippers because my feet didn't wake up in time. That's when I knew. If I didn't send a signal to my body, it would keep hitting snooze. Now, I don't skip it. I do it before my coffee, before I check the news. And if I forget, my body reminds me. What's powerful isn't the stretch. It's the habit. It's consistency that rewires the body, not intensity. The Mayo Clinic has published research showing that consistent, low-intensity mobility practice in the morning can reduce inflammation markers, support joint health, and even regulate blood pressure in older adults. That's not hype. That's science. And here's the thing. You don't need yoga. You don't need a mat. You don't even need to get out of bed. You just need 90 seconds and a message to your muscles. We're still in this together. So ask yourself, when's the last time you truly said good morning to your body? Because aging doesn't happen all at once. It happens in moments like this, quiet, early, forgettable. And it's in those moments that you can begin again. Every single morning after I move, I drink something that's kept me from getting sick for over 30 years. It's not a supplement. It's not a pill. And it's definitely not some $50 powdered superfood from the internet. It's a warm glass of water with lemon, turmeric, and a pinch of black pepper. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This habit is a powerhouse. It's the first thing that enters my system every morning, and it's how I prime my immune system, lower inflammation, and jumpstart digestion before breakfast. Let's break it down. Lemon. Fresh lemon juice floods the body with vitamin C, a potent antioxidant that supports white blood cell production, the immune system's front line. According to the Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State University, vitamin C doesn't just prevent illness. It helps shorten its duration, especially for older adults. It also kickstarts bile production in the liver, which supports healthy digestion and helps prevent the buildup of toxins. Ever wonder why digestion slows with age? Often, it's low stomach acid, and lemon helps fix that. Next comes turmeric, nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory root. It contains a compound called curcumin, which has been shown in hundreds of peer-reviewed studies to lower inflammatory markers in the body, markers that rise as we age and can lead to chronic diseases, joint pain, even cognitive decline. A study published in Frontiers in Pharmacology found that curcumin supplementation improved immune function in aging adults and reduced oxidative stress. But here's the trick. Black pepper isn't just for taste, it's the activator. It contains a compound called piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Without it, turmeric barely enters the bloodstream. Together, these three ingredients form what I call my golden glass. It takes less than 5 minutes to make. Just heat a cup of water, not boiling, just warm enough to drink comfortably. Squeeze in half a lemon, add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and a pinch of black pepper. Stir, sip, and let it do its work. I've had this drink nearly every morning for 3 decades, not because I read it online, because I felt the difference. When I started, I had sinus infections twice a year, achy joints every winter, always felt sluggish after breakfast. 2 weeks after starting this habit, my digestion improved. I wasn't bloated. My joints felt looser. I hadn't changed anything else. A few months later, I realized I hadn't been sick in almost a year. That was 30 years ago, and I've stuck with it since. Do I still get exposed to viruses? Sure. But my body doesn't roll out the red carpet for them anymore. It's awake. It's alert. It's prepared. This golden glass is more than a drink. It's a signal. Just like the movement ritual, it tells my body, we're on offense today. You don't need expensive supplements or complex protocols. You need small, consistent habits that whisper, I care about you. So tomorrow, before the toast pops or the eggs crack, pour yourself something golden, and as you sip, remember, you're not just drinking a beverage. You're making a declaration. I choose health, not by chance, but by choice. I don't walk for exercise. I walk for healing. Every day, rain or shine, I step outside and take a 15-minute anti-inflammatory walk. No headphones, no phone, just movement and breath. Most people underestimate walking. They see it as something you do when you can't run, as if it's the backup plan. But at 92, I can tell you, it's the foundation. When I was in my 60s, I used to jog. Thought I needed to sweat to stay young. Then I read a study that changed my life. It said the simple act of walking, just walking, can reduce systemic inflammation, regulate blood sugar, boost memory, and even reduce your risk of death by 39%. That's when I stopped chasing sweat and started embracing rhythm. You see, walking isn't just about moving your body forward. It's about moving everything else back into place. Your joints, your lymphatic system, your nervous system, even your thoughts. And here's the key, I do it every day no matter what. I don't walk far. Sometimes it's just around the block. But I never miss it. Not because I'm disciplined, but because I've seen what happens when I don't. I become stiff. My joints ache. My thoughts get cloudy. My digestion slows. But when I walk, I'm a machine. My shoulders roll back. My knees stay flexible. My mood rises. And by the time I return, I feel like I've been reset. There's science behind this. A study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that just 20 minutes of walking reduced levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation, in older adults. Another study from Stanford showed that walking boosts creativity and mental clarity more than any seated activity. But you want to know what really sold me? One morning, about 25 years ago, I skipped my walk. I was busy. I told myself I'd do it later, but the day got away from me, and for the first time in years, I felt old. Not tired, not sore, just old. Like the joints weren't mine. Like my lungs had forgotten how to stretch. That's when I knew walking wasn't optional. It was medicine. Now I treat my daily walk like a prescription. I put on shoes with good support. I start slow. I focus on my breath. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. I swing my arms gently to keep my posture open. And here's something you might not expect. I smile while I walk. Not because I'm happy, because it makes me happy. That small act, smiling, activates your vagus nerve, a powerful part of the nervous system that regulates inflammation, heart rate, and even digestion. One study from psychosomatic medicine found that smiling, especially during movement, amplifies the anti-stress effects of physical activity. So I smile, I breathe, I walk, 15 minutes a day. And it's given me decades of strength. You don't need fancy gear. You don't need perfect weather. You don't even need energy. Walking gives it to you. Your body was built to move, and every step says, I still can. So, if you've been feeling stuck, tired, foggy, don't wait for motivation. Put on your shoes, open the door, and tell your body, let's begin again, because motion is life. There's one nutrient I never skip, not once in over 30 years. It's not a vitamin. It's not a magic mineral. It's something much more foundational. Protein. You see, when I turned 60, I thought I was eating well. Fruits, veggies, whole grains, even the occasional multivitamin. But I was still losing strength. My energy dipped by mid-morning. I started forgetting things. Names, where I left my keys, even whether I'd eaten lunch. I thought it was age. But my doctor said, no, you're just not getting enough protein. Turns out after 60, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing and using protein. That means you need more, not less, to maintain muscle, memory, immunity, and healing. And that's when I changed my breakfast. Completely. Instead of cereal or toast, I started eating what I call the brain and body breakfast. It's simple. 1 boiled egg, a cup of Greek yogurt, a handful of walnuts, and a few blueberries. Altogether, that's over 25 grams of high-quality protein, plus anti-inflammatories, healthy fats, and brain-boosting antioxidants. It doesn't just fill me, it fuels me. And here's why it matters so much. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's for immune cells, which are literally made from amino acids. It's for enzymes that repair tissue. It's for neurotransmitters that keep your brain sharp. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed 25-30 grams of protein per meal had significantly better muscle mass, fewer hospitalizations, and even longer lifespans. Another study from Tufts University showed that seniors with higher protein intake had stronger immune responses to illness and vaccines. It's not just about strength, it's about resilience. But not all proteins are created equal. That's why I focus on complete proteins, those that contain all 9 essential amino acids. Eggs, perfect score. Greek yogurt, complete protein plus calcium and probiotics. Walnuts, not complete, but packed with omega-3s and inflammation fighters. Blueberries, they're the antioxidant glue that pulls it all together. This breakfast doesn't just keep me full, it keeps me unshakable. And here's something I didn't expect. My blood sugar stabilized. I used to crash at 11 a.m. now. I glide through the morning like I'm 40 again. If I have meetings, long drives, appointments, it doesn't matter. I'm sharp, I'm steady. Because I started with what matters most. And no, it doesn't have to be complicated. Some days I'll switch it up. Cottage cheese with flax seeds, a small piece of grilled chicken on sprouted toast, even a lentil scramble if I'm feeling fancy. But the rule stays the same. Never skip protein. Especially at breakfast. That's the moment your body decides how it's going to perform for the rest of the day. You wouldn't fuel a car with fumes, would you? So why do we do it to ourselves? A protein-rich breakfast isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. One you can start tomorrow, no matter your age, no matter your past. Because your body doesn't care how old you are. It cares how you feed it today. Here's something no doctor ever told me. Your mind gets sick before your body does. And if you want to stay young, truly young, you have to start there. Every single morning, before I speak to anyone, before I even check the weather, I do something I call mental tuning. It's not meditation, it's not therapy. It's just this. I sit still for 3 minutes, and I picture the kind of day I want to have. I don't imagine the traffic or the errands or the bills. I imagine how I want to feel. Calm, strong, steady, useful. And then I picture myself moving through the day in that state. confident behind the wheel, clear in conversation, at peace with whatever happens. This may sound small, but it's the most powerful thing I do. You see, your brain doesn't know the difference between something you imagine vividly and something that actually happens. That's not a motivational quote. That's neuroscience. Dr. Joe Dispenza and researchers at Harvard have shown in fMRI scans that when people vividly imagine doing an activity, the same areas of the brain fire as if they were doing it in real life. Over time, this rewires your nervous system. In other words, you can train your body to be calm, focused, and sharp before you even leave the house. Why does this matter? Because chronic stress is the #1 immune killer. Not germs, not genetics. Stress. It raises cortisol, which damages brain cells, weakens immunity, and even strips muscle. And seniors, we carry stress differently. It shows up in confusion, fatigue, and illness that seems to come out of nowhere. But when you take 3 minutes each morning to tune your mind, everything shifts. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I had a friend. Same age, same health background. But he was always stressed. News, politics, money. He lived in a constant state of fight or flight. And then one day he collapsed. Heart issue, no warning. He recovered, but things were never the same. He asked me, "How come you're never rattled? Don't you ever worry?" And I told him, "Worry is a thief." And every morning I lock the door. It starts with intention. It ends with resilience. And here's the best part. When you train your mind to be still, your body follows. Your blood pressure lowers. Your immune cells activate. Your memory sharpens. You even digest food better. A 2016 study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that just 5 minutes of daily mental rehearsal significantly reduced anxiety, improved focus, and boosted immune response in adults over 65. And the results lasted weeks. So yes, I walk, I eat protein, I drink my turmeric tonic. But none of it would matter without this, because your thoughts shape your hormones, and your hormones shape your health. You don't need to be a monk or a guru. You don't need candles or mantras. Just sit. Picture strength. Picture joy. Picture yourself behind the wheel, driving at 92, laughing at the traffic, never getting sick. And over time, you'll notice something strange. It becomes real. So now you know, it wasn't luck. It wasn't genetics. It wasn't some secret I kept hidden for decades. It was 5 simple choices, done daily, done consistently. 5 tiny habits that rewired my body and maybe even saved my life. And the truth is, you don't have to be 92 to start. You just have to start. The morning movement, the golden glass, the healing walk, the breakfast that builds, the mind that leads the body. They may look small, but they're mighty, because health doesn't vanish in an instant. It slips away in the things we skip, and it returns the same way, in quiet choices that build back strength, thought by thought, step by step, bite by bite. So if you're still wondering if it's too late, let me remind you, you're still here, you still can, and you're already on your way. But here's the thing I haven't told you yet. There's one more secret I didn't share. It's the thing I do every single night, after the habits, after the meals, after the walking and the thinking. Something that repairs my body while I sleep. And science says it might be the missing key to reversing aging itself. We'll talk about that next time.